make Black history way too many people believe. Have you ever heard this saying? There are more Black men in prison than there are in college. Well, what if I told you that's just not true and probably was never true? So why do so many people repeat it and believe it, including in the past, President Barack Obama? In 2002, the Justice Policy Institute published a study titled Cell Blocks or Classrooms. In this study, they compared data from the Bureau of Justice Statistics and the National Center for Education Statistics. They concluded that nearly 200,000 Black men were in jail or prison than they were in college. About a decade later, a filmmaker named James Morton challenged this statistic by saying that he went back and looked at their data and it was incomplete. Following his film feature at CBC, the Justice Policy Institute published this statement where they stood by their study and they published their methodology. The study was also challenged by Dr. Ivory A. Tolson, who at the time was a professor at Howard University and editor-in-chief of the Journal of Negro Education. He did some more digging into the data in that study and published his results on The Root, citing that this statistic was a white invention. In his research, he found that about 1,000 colleges were not reporting the Black male attendee head count at the time of the Justice Policy Institute's study in 2001. Several of the colleges that were not reporting the Black male head count were HBCUs. Ironically, Dr. Tolson was attending Temple University at the time of that study, meaning that his own presence at a college and university was not counted among the study. He also found that in 2011, when the data from those colleges was present, the documentation of Black male enrollment rose by over 100%, which would have been nearly impossible. The difference was now the data was more fully present to account for Black male enrollment. So the conclusion of the study was based on incomplete data. And if you look at the statistics from 2009 upward, where we have more accurate accounting of data, you will see that Black men are more in college than they are in jail and prison. Now, I don't think that the Justice Policy Institute was intentionally putting out a nefarious narrative. However, that statistic was being used to denigrate Black boys and men to the point where some educators believed it was having a negative impact on their Black male students.